Oh, I've got an idea. Oh, let me just jot it down. If I forget it, it'll be bad if I forget it. Okay, fine. I need to do this work, and this work by tonight. I must jot it down somewhere, otherwise I'll forget. I'll note it in my phone's notepad also, just in case I forget. Right. Oh, you're recording me. Well, greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruben. You're watching WabsTalk videos. Did you just notice me jotting down the stuff that I need to do just because I thought that probably I'll forget it and I'll not be able to do it? Does this happen to you as well? Does your memory also not support you as you want it to? Well, then this tutorial is exactly meant for you. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about how to remember everything. A lot of my students also, in fact, many times they complain, sir, you give us vocabulary related work, but we cannot retain. We learn it, but we cannot retain this vocabulary. What to do about it? This tutorial is for them as well. Now, in this tutorial, not just this, in fact, I've decided to start an entire series. 5 years ago also, I made a tutorial on how to remember everything, but then I decided to make it a little more refined. So today we are going to be talking about one simple technique. Actually, there are many different techniques to remember different types of data. Today we'll begin with the simplest form of it. You can call it imagination and association. You should be able to, whatever you want to do, tasks that you want to perform or things that you want to retain in your memory, all that you need to do is firstly imagine them and associate them. Create a story around them and put those words inside that story, and that's it. Your job is done. You'll be able to remember them. Maybe not the words, but yes, you're more likely to remember the story. How about we do an experiment, understand this in a better way? Let's understand this point with the help of an example. Imagine you're going for a Europe trip. Now, in order to ensure that your trip to Europe goes successful, you will need some stuff. So you decide that you will go in the market and buy all that stuff tonight. So you sit in front of a laptop and you decide to make a list. So what stuff are you going to need first of all? Of course, a backpack. Let's begin with a backpack. Backpack to carry things. Yes. Secondly, a nice pair of trainers to travel around, to walk around, move around. Yes, you will need it. A nice pair of trainers. What else will you need? It's going to be very cold there, so you will need gloves. Let's take this point, a pair of gloves. And on a trip, on a holiday, you must look handsome, don't you? So you should buy glares also, stylish glares. Point taken. What else? You need to cover your head, your ears, because it's going to be November, December. In November, December, Europe is pretty cold, isn't it? So fine, let's take it down. You will need a muffler also. And if you move around, you go for some sightseeing and you want to make that trip memorable, you want to capture those sightings, you will need a camera. So you will go and buy a camera as well. What else? Won't you feel cold in your body? Yes, you will. So you'll buy a coat. I guess a long coat would do. A long coat would cover some part of your thigh as well, so you will feel more comfortable in a long coat rather than a short one. Alright, so here's the list that we are going to need in order to ensure that our trip goes successful. Now you don't need to remember all these words. All that you need to do is put these words in a cooked up story, and you're more likely to remember that story than these words themselves. Now here we have a list of about 7 words only. Let's say there are 20. Let's say there are 25. Let's say there are 30. So if you have a story, that's going to be helpful more than remembering those words, because there is a good chance you might forget 1 or 2 words in that list of yours. But if you prepare that story and put all these words in that story, you are less likely to forget. Let's experiment this thing. Let's say there's this person, Mr. X. A weird story is coming into my mind, but I guess the purpose of explanation will be resolved. So there's this person, Mr. X, and he's a child kidnapper, and he carries a backpack to kidnap all the children in his backpack. Okay, fine. Point number 1 added. Backpack. Second thing, a pair of trainers. He always wears a pair of trainers because if police suspects him and tries to catch him, chase him and catch him, he can run away fast. So he always wears a pair of trainers. He also wears a pair of gloves, because if he kidnaps somebody, he should not leave any fingerprints, any evidences, any proofs. Fine. So he wears gloves. And he also wears glares and muffler in order to hide as much of his face as possible. That is also done. He carries a camera wherever he goes so that he can click pictures of children to find out their schedule and decide who to kidnap next. Alright. And he wears a long coat because he sometimes carries weapons inside them, and in long coat you're less likely to be caught with weapons. Alright. So this is a weird story that we have created, but then I guess our purpose will be solved. Let's go about it again. There is this child kidnapper who carries a backpack to kidnap children and carry them in it. He wears a pair of trainers to ensure that he's never caught by police so that he can run away fast. He also wears gloves to leave no fingerprints. He wears glares and muffler all the time so that he can ensure that majority of his face is hidden. He cannot be identified easily. And he carries a camera to click pictures of children he hopes to kidnap. And at the end he wears long coat to hide weapons. Alright, now what we are going to do is we are going to close the screen. Now imagine we are in market. We don't have any list. We don't have the screen. All we need to do is recall the story and our job is done. So what was the story? There was this child kidnapper. He used to kidnap children in a backpack. Fine. He would always wear trainers so that he can run away from police, run away from being caught. Second, he would wear gloves to not give away his fingerprints. He would always wear glares and mufflers, glares and muffler to hide his face, but as much of his face as possible. So that's 4 and 5. He would carry a camera to click the pictures of the children he is hoping to kidnap. That's 6. And at the end he would wear a long coat to hide weapons. So all that I did was I recalled the story. It was an easy task. I just created a story in front of you and I used it whenever I needed it, and all the words in that list were inside that story also. So they helped me. The story helped me to recall all those words or that list or whatever stuff I want to buy with the help of that story. So this is my point. This is what this technique is about. This technique is imagination, association, right? So next time when you have a long list of stuff that you want to carry and you want to remember all of it, imagine, associate, and this will help you memorize it. In upcoming videos, it's like a series going on, and in upcoming videos I'll share more complex methods to help you remember everything. Do subscribe, like and share this video. Thank you so much.